If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I'm only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains but have not love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and surrender my body to the flames but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It doesn't envy. It doesn't boast. It's not proud. It's not rude. And it's not self-seeking. It's not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails.
In just a few hours we'll meet at the end of the aisle. I already know I'll be overcome by the love I have for you. I cannot wait for the day of our lives. It's been so special planning it to our tastes together. If you lose me, you'll find me in the VW photo booth. I chose this card not just because we love dogs and the outdoors, but because it reminds me of our solid friendship and the peaceful moments we've shared. I'll never be able to thank you enough for how you love Sammy and I feel so safe when I'm with you and able to be myself. I pray that in the tough times we'll remember to communicate and regroup. I truly feel like the most fortunate woman alive to have you by my side. Now let's party. All my love, Bex. It's lovely.
My gorgeous, my Bex, and now my wife. As if I'd only get you one card with a generic message. That's exactly what I said. Firstly, I love you. I love dog walks with you, trips out onto the river, holidays and cuddles and films. I love talking to you through the dog, and I love the little family unit we've become. I'm so proud of you, proud of the work that you do, of the way you've built your life back up after it came crumbling down. No! You've been through so much and never lost your kindness, warmth and generosity. I can't wait to marry you again and feel so lucky that I get to do it twice. I can't wait to see what life has in store for us. I know we'll face it together, and that is a source of strength and comfort I'll never take for granted. I now realise I started writing way too big. Please turn over. But the truth is, I could fill 1,000 cards and it still wouldn't accurately express the measure of my love. Later, you'll hear that you are my world, but actually you're my entire universe and always will be. Thank you for bringing me joy every day and for being my wife. I love you, Simon.
Tears over here in this corner. I know, me too.
Love is a temporary madness. It erupts like volcanoes and then subsides. And when it subsides, you have a decision to make. You have to work out whether your root was so entwined together that it is inconceivable that you should ever part. Because this is what love is. Love is not breathlessness, it's not excitement, it's not the promulgation of promises of eternal passion. That is just being in love, which any fool can do. Love itself is what is left over when being in love has burned away, and this is both an art and a fortunate accident. Those that truly love have roots that grow towards each other underground, and when all the pretty blossoms have fallen away from their branches, they find that they are one tree and not two.
Would you like to stand to welcome the bride?
marriage is a little bit like having a beautiful garden. We all really want one, but most of us hate gardening. We all want the beautiful garden, but many of us don't really want to put the work into it. When a weed starts to grow in the garden, we need to act quickly to deal with it. If we don't, what starts as a minor irritation can start to spread. And it's the same with our marriages. Communicating well, listening to one another, 2 ears, 1 mouth is the ratio. And working towards common goals will lead to a beautiful, colourful and exciting life together. Bex and Simon, remember your vows today and never forget how deeply you love one another right at this moment. Things will change over the years, but this moment is how you really feel about one another. When you're stretched, when things aren't going to plan, remember how deeply you love one another right now. Recall this moment. Learn to put one another first, and people will look at the garden that is your marriage and wonder at its beauty. Therefore, happily proclaim publicly that they are husband and wife.
Some of you may know I do a little bit of magic from time to time, and Simon asked me especially to do something this morning. I thought I'd do a compatibility test. So I'll show you what I've got here. There are a couple of feet. I've got one for you, Bex, of course, and one for you, Simon. And the other thing I've got here is 15 pairs of socks. The whole point today is what I'd like you to do is to try and choose the matching pair of socks. You say stop at any point you want to.
Stop.
Okay, now put your foot in it. You just say stop at any point.
Stop there.
Just there, you sure?
It's fine.
So stick your foot in it.
Yeah.
What we're looking for is a matching pair, and if possible, my favourite pair.
Okay.
And if you'd stick your other hand on top. Again, you could have had that one, could have had that, or whatever. But you didn't. So let's see what you got, Beck. Oh, look at that! Purple with white stars. That's yeah, it's all right. It's nice. It's nice. Now, have you got the matching pair? Turn it over.
No,
So,
I got yellow with green spots.
it's a compatibility test.
Oh.
Sit down a minute. Sit down a minute.
Sorry.
You know, life, like magic, sometimes goes a little wrong, doesn't it? You know, and so that's and so all I wanted to say to you guys is that two of the most important words in a marriage are "I'm sorry" and "I forgive you." All right, so those are important. I mean, what did you get anyway? What did you get?
I got the purple
Purple sock, yeah. Well, I did say what I'd like to get was a pair, you know, and if possible, my favourite pair. Excuse me a minute. All right, we're there. It's all right, it's all going to work. Fill up your socks. What I'm going to do. Becky, you picked up the next sock. I think you'll agree, a matching pair, and we have here the perfect pair. Aww. Thank you.
I don't know what to say now. I feel like it's probably a bit rubbish after that. Right, okay, so for those who don't know, I'm Becky, Anna's sister. I've had people all day saying to me, you must... Oh no, I'm Anna, Becky's sister. Oh dear, it's a good start, isn't it? Even though you're almost 6 years younger than me, as we've grown up, I've always looked up to you. Partly because you're taller than me, but mostly because you are creative, beautiful, kind, and have worked so hard in very challenging jobs, particularly at challenging times in your own life, and you really do help change people's lives. I'm really thankful for the way that you love not only me, but also Andrea and Izzy. And you don't even need to try to be the #1 cool auntie, because you just are. We slowly got to know Simon more, and I could see the similarities and connection between them. They both love dogs, and of course especially Sammy. They are both fun-loving, loyal, faithful friends with a propensity to do really silly things. Basically, they're both like dogs themselves. They're both in the nicest possible way. They are both generous, kind, and totally committed to the cause.
As this room is full of such incredible people that mean an enormous amount to us, I just couldn't let this opportunity go without saying some really important things. I've decided to write it and read it in the hope that that will make it less likely that I cry. I want to thank all of Simon's family for the most incredible welcome into the family. Oh, it has not worked. I honestly can't believe how fortunate I am to have been embraced by all of you. Love you too, Claire. Here I'd like to make a special mention about Grandad. It's amazing to see how you have instilled the importance of prioritising family in all of the generations. Thank you for helping to shape Simon, the man I now get to spend my life with. Oh, blimmin' heck. Now, on to the rock in my life. The most amazing example of sacrificial love, and someone I will never be able to express in words how grateful I am to have. My mum. You have always been there for me. You have always said there is nothing us kids could do that would stop you loving us. You've never ceased to pray for us and help us. Thank you for being the best mum, making countless sacrifices in your love for us, and showing me how to be thoughtful, welcoming and kind.
Say the people you surround yourselves with are reflections of your character. And we must be just so blimmin' brilliant, but also so lucky to have you all as close friends and family.
First time, please make some noise for Mr. and Mrs. Isle.
those who know me know that I love cheese. That being said, I'll try and keep as much out of it of the next romantic part of my speech as possible, and instead revert to sincere emotions and anecdotals of our magical journey together. No, sorry. I'll try to explain in my own words and evidence why I love this woman. Let's rewind to that little orange fluff pool that introduced us on that fateful day in 2020. We got chatting in the field with conversation aplenty. I tried all my lines. What musicals do you like? And have you tried merino wool? Somehow you got the impression I was gay, which was not at all useful. Bouncing back, I offered to show you around the beautiful dog walks that encircle our town. Getting to know Bex was an absolute delight. Immediately I could see that she was funny and bright, caring and compassionate down to a T, and she worked in something called addiction recovery. On long dog walks, we'd mosey along, rescuing Sammy from Shetland ponies and swans. By autumn, I knew this was destined to be, and I asked this beautiful wander if she'd go on holiday with me. With COVID and travel bans, this was not an easy feat, and via bookings to Turkey and Cyprus, we ended up in Greece. What a trip. Sun, sea, and ancient history. Biting and being bitten in a taverna, what on earth have I done to deserve this? Greek bliss with a Greek goddess who I can hug and kiss. Whether Astir Beach or Crabby Beach, falling over again and again, you tripping on rocks and kicking boulders in the sea, who knew that the real one doing the falling was me? Oh, it's like camembert. Oh, it's a strong kiss. In 2021, I had to get my head round a new way to get closer to this love that I'd found. A reason to cohabit, an event that would ground. I know, I thought, I'll burn my house down. Malta next, and a chance to reflect. A stern talking to by your mum made me not want to regret missing out on this wonderful girl, who's quickly becoming my entire world. And the holiday that sealed it was Malta and Gozo. For radiant Bex, ring shopping I would go. Then to Scotland. Loch Rannoch, the scene where unseen Bollinger and rings smuggled to Queen's View ushered in a new age of engagement. The anxiety only of being discovered before my moment was unnerving, but swerving the crowds we found our spot. She said yes, and I hit the jackpot. Whether on a dog walk in Wales, the woods, or the wreck, or splashing in the sea on an island bedecked with pina coladas, there's nowhere I'd rather be than by your side. Bex, you are the love of my life. Joy is all I feel today calling you my wife. You know what to say when things get tough. To call it a day when you've had enough. To recharge with cuddles, blankets and floofa, a picture of perfection couldn't be truer. I promise to pick up my stuff and be clean, to look after you and never be mean, to hug when it's needed and laugh when it's due, to be there for us and be there for you. You make me so happy, I can only smile, now that I found you and somehow convinced you to be Mrs. Isles. Please join me in a toast. To who? Can you guess? The one, the only, my amazing wife, Bex.
Even from very early on in the relationship, when I first met Bex, and she put candles into a melted camembert as Simon's birthday cake, it was clear that she intuitively understood Simon. And despite a valiant effort from Sammy earlier, I think we'll all agree that it's still Bex that stole the show today. It's clear, especially watching Simon's face as she walked down the aisle, that he knows just how lucky he is to have such a beautiful bride by his side today. And I think we should all raise a toast to Bex from the new and improved Bex and Simon. It's been an honour being Simon's best man, and I acknowledge this next bit's going to be extremely cheesy, but Simon both literally and figuratively loves cheese. So I really do feel privileged to be the best man for someone who I consider to be the best man.
Stop. Keep going.
Anyway, I wish that all of the happiness that both of you helped to create in the world is mirrored in your relationship over the rest of your lives together.
To my dearest Simon, you will probably all know that when I moved to Twyford, Simon and I met whilst I was walking my dog Sammy. Sammy immediately took a great liking to you, which was remarkable for a rescue dog that generally hated men. This was worth paying attention to, as Sammy and I have a bond like no other. As time went on, I realised that the kindness of this man was not just an act, he was genuine. You always encourage me in my faith. We have so much fun together and we really do make a great team. What would help even more is if you could just tidy up after yourself. I promise I'll also try my best to ease up on my military standards. And whilst I have agreed to share Sammy with you, remember, he's 51% mine and only 49% yours. There are so many things I'd love to say about you. I could talk of your beautiful character all day long, but the guests are hungry. If people forget everything I've said about you today, I hope they remember this. You are the most loving, generous and patient person I have ever met. I cannot believe I get to be your wife. I love you and you're my best friend.